The Ministry of Agriculture has been implementing agricultural projects across the country just to help farmers across the country. And among those projects is FISP, the Farmer Input Support Program. Today, on Inside Agriculture, we discuss who qualify to benefit from Farmer Input Support Program. Dear viewers, welcome to Inside Agriculture with me, Emmanuel Mwemba. In the studio, I'm not alone. I'm with my co-presenter, Claribel Musonda. Claribel, welcome to Inside Agriculture.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Great. And dear viewers, to help us unpack this conversation, we are joined by Ministry of Agriculture Principal Public Relations Officer, Mr. Balewa Zulu. Sir, welcome to Inside Agriculture.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I'm honored to be here.
Great, great. Just to kickstart the conversation, the viewers would like to know the mandate of the Ministry of Agriculture.
So as Minister of Agriculture, we are mandated to facilitate or promote sustainable, competitive agriculture sector that ensures that there is food security in the country and also contribute to the growth of the gross domestic product of our nation, GDP. So that's our mandate. Today
we are discussing the Farmer Input Support Program as one of the programs the ministry has been implementing to help farmers. Who qualify to benefit from this program?
So it might interest you to know that before we go into the details of who qualifies,
yes,
we need to understand why the program is there. Then we'll be able to know who qualifies.
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
This is the program that was initiated by government some time back as a subsidy program that is meant to help small-scale farmers to be able to produce, and they are viable but vulnerable. So then government was able to identify the farmers that are vulnerable but viable. So if you're in active employment like yourself, you are not qualified or you're not eligible to be part of the program, because the program is meant to ensure that only the vulnerable benefit and also they produce. And at some point, they're also supposed to graduate from being vulnerable, because when they receive the government support, then they're supposed to be, at least they move from just being vulnerable or just being small-scale farmers. They go to another level. And then from another level, the idea is to have a number of commercial farmers, because remember that as the Minister of Agriculture, we have a target to produce more food, and the President has given us about 10 million metric tons of maize, 1 million for soybeans and wheat annually by 2031. And so to achieve that, then it means that those that we are supporting, they are supposed to graduate. This year, you get supported. Next year, 2 years down the line, you should be able to move to another level where you do not depend on the government for you to produce. So the people that benefit or that qualify are vulnerable farmers, but they are viable.
How do you know that at least this part has been given? Because you find that maybe the same farmer will say after 2 years, you will get the input.
So what initially has happened is that there's never really been graduation, because many of the farmers still, from time to time, they still depend on the government. So I think maybe we need to improve on our education to the farmers, so that, because we have the extension officers in different parts of the country that are helping the farmers to produce more. So maybe it's an issue of where we need also to have an overhaul of the mindset for a number of farmers, because the dependence syndrome on the government is what is making the sector not tick the way it's supposed to tick. Because when I receive this year, in my mind, I should be able to plan that, okay, if I receive twice, 3 times, I should be able to move from one level. It's like you're getting loan to start your own business. When you're getting a loan to start your own business, you not depend on a loan or every year for your business to tick. At some point, you should be able to be self-sustainable. And so that's the idea of the government.
Don't you think maybe they are not well informed to say that if I get after 2 years, I should not get?
So that was the intention of the government, for them to be able to be weaned off the program. But over time, for different reasons, which peculiar, many of the farmers have not graduated. And so government is also concerned to to that effect. But we do not stop supporting them because they have not graduated. So as long as you have not graduated, we still support them. The best is for all of us as Zambians and for all the farmers to agree that we need to see agriculture as a business.
Exactly.
Because when we see agriculture as a business, then we're going to go to the field, plant with the idea that, or with the mindset that when I produce, I should be able to produce beyond my household consumption so that I can meet the national food security, and I can also make money or create wealth or income for myself. Because when we see it that way, then we'll produce with a mindset of seeing agriculture as a business. Then we'll be able to do that, because you cannot be doing the same thing over and over and expect different results.
Great.
So when we produce, we should be able to tap into the vision that the president has laid bare for every Zambian to see that we need to produce. And in producing, we need to produce different kind of crops so that we are able to, on the other side, sustain our households, sustain the nation, and also make money by exporting. Because when you export, you have now more money. So when we do that, I think we are going to have to come to a conclusion that everyone who receives, now they should be able to graduate. But in terms of support, they have received enough support from the government. Even in terms of sensitization, they have received enough sensitization. But we just have to come to a consensus, all of us as citizens, that this is the direction that we need to take, so that when we do that, because when we stop depending on something, then we'll grow. Without removing that dependency, we might not grow.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What procedures are there to be followed for one to be part of this program, FISP?
The committees that deal directly with the farmers. So because a farmer is vulnerable, let's say you are from Chikankata and you are in that village, they identify that Mwemba is in this village, and so he is vulnerable, but he qualifies. So they look at, are you vulnerable? Are you not in employment? And so when they pick you, then you are added to the program. But generally, the number does not change. So when you are added, it means maybe someone else has been removed or someone has died. Then that person is added to the program. And when they are added to the program, we call them bonded farmers. It means you have to sign something. You sign to say, okay, I am going to receive support from the government and I'm going to produce. When I produce, it means that I'm supposed to sell, but my first priority of selling, because the idea is we support about 1 million farmers. So because we support 1 million farmers, imagine if those 1 million farmers sold just a minimum of 10 bags to the government, then we would have met our reserves that we want. Because they receive the support from the government, then we buy from them. We get free of charge. We buy from them. Then those are the things that farmers are following. So remember that even when we were doing during the crop marketing window last year, we had initially requested that all the farmers that were supported by the government under the FISP, they should be the first priority to take the maize to the food reserve agents. And what that did was, those that received the support, it became a wake-up call to say that if I did not plant anywhere, then I should be able to supply. So when we request them to do that, what it meant was it helped farmers to realize that you cannot just receive support from the government and then do nothing. So previously, I'm sure you have heard cases of people that are selling inputs, people that are sharing inputs, all those things. When you are given the inputs, the idea was to ensure that we eliminate all those issues. Because when you receive the support, you sell to the government. And when you sell to the government, even next time, then you at that point you were eligible. Before, there was an intervention when farmers cried out loud to the government that maybe the 10 was too much, and then through the intervention of the head of state, that was reversed. And when it was reversed, we allowed all the other farmers now to come and sell to the food reserve agents. And even those that did not sell to the food reserve agents, we were able to bring them on board, and then they received the inputs for this current planting window which we are in. But ideally is, those are the simple things that farmers have to follow that. When I receive my inputs, I should be able to plant. You cannot just receive inputs. You don't have a field to plant. Because when you receive, you don't have a field, then it becomes an issue of you are just in business. You're not a farmer. So we want to, we've intensified our targeting for the farmers. And that's the reason why we also went e-voucher, so that we directly send the redeeming code to the specific farmer, so that that farmer then is able to receive the code and redeem. Because when they do that, we eliminate all these other people in between, the person who's going to deliver and take to that. Then you are giving the right person, unlike the way it was in the past.
Oh, great. Mr. Balewa, you've talked about those farmers who would get the import and then maybe just for business instead of using, then they resell. What are the consequences?
So if you have found selling, you are a farmer or you are a beneficiary of the program. Once you are found selling, you are telling us as government that you are not a farmer. 1. 2, you risk being removed from the program, because it's illegal to sell and you are violating the bonding requirements and regulations which you signed. So 1, it's illegal. 2, you risk being removed from the program. So those are the sanctions that you get, and there will be administrative measures that are taken when you are found doing that, because it's illegal.
Are there some monitoring and evaluation aspects in terms of who uses the imports? Do you have any monitoring programs
So
implemented?
the system has been made so efficient that we're able to monitor all our beneficiaries. We're able to know where they are. And even when you receive, we have intensified even our verification. Before you even receive, we get to know, we verify even through the mobile service providers. If you're on MTN, we are going to go to MTN. MTN is going to give us the data, and then we are going to verify that 1, you are actually you're the farmer. 2, we know that yes, you are planting somewhere, and
you see my field.
Yes. So, and because we move from different places to monitor how they are doing, so that you receive, because that's the reason we even put extension services, so that those people are able to go now to the farmers that we are supporting, and even those that we are not supporting, so they can help monitor the crop and see how it's growing. Then even after it's harvested, we also provide market linkages for them. So in terms of monitoring, I think we've done a very good job. That's why I'm sure you saw that last year we produced a bumper harvest.
Dear viewers, this is Inside Agriculture, and in the studio we have Ministry of Agriculture Principal Public Relations Officer, Mr. Balewa Zulu. For now, we take a break. We'll be back on the other side to discuss more about who qualifies to benefit from Farmer Input Support Program. Stay tuned. Inside Agriculture is the program that keeps you informed and empowered on everything trending in the world of agriculture. This program interprets government agricultural policies, showcasing resilient farming practices, cutting-edge technologies, and the inspiring individuals driving innovation. Are you a farmer, agriculture entrepreneur, or simply passionate about food security and national development? This is your platform to stay ahead and get involved. Don't miss out. It is your time to be part of Zambia's agricultural transformation and contribute to economic growth and food security. Join us every Sunday at 14:30 hours only on Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Welcome back, dear viewers. In case you have just tuned in, this is Inside Agriculture, and today we are discussing who qualify to benefit from Farmer Input Support Program. And in the studio we are joined by Ministry of Agriculture Principal Public Relations Officer, Mr. Balewa Zulu. Sir, let's continue with our conversation.
Yes, sir.
Coming to the rollout of the program, how is the ministry ensuring that the program benefits right individuals out there?
If you are able to note that we moved from the direct input support program, where government would procure and look for transporters and deliver to those communities. Now the farmers are able to redeem in their own localities. So with the e-voucher, what it entails is that we have enhanced the targeting where the right people receive the redeeming codes. Remember that there is this conception that because I belong to a cooperative, then I should be able to benefit. A cooperative is not really meant for FISP alone. A cooperative is meant, it's a prerequisite or a requirement that you need for you to be a beneficiary from the program. So you can still use the same cooperative to grow something, get maybe empowerment programs from even different ministries. But one, being part of a cooperative, so it could be 20 in the cooperative, and you find that only 5 are beneficiaries under this program, but they still benefit from other government programs, even from CDF and many more other programs that have been put in place. And so when a farmer is part of the beneficiaries, they receive their codes in their own personal capacity. And when they receive in their own personal capacity, they go to the agro dealers to redeem or collect the inputs. And what that has done is it has improved the efficiency, because this country is divided into 3 ecological zones. Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. So these, they receive different amounts of rain. And even in terms of soil, it's totally different, because different places have different kind of soil. So when you go and collect your seed or you collect your inputs, you get according to your region and you get according to the soils, because even in terms of soil, we are still also helping the farmers to identify the kind of the soils that they have. We have officers that are on the ground that help them to test their soils, and so they get the right inputs. And the idea is to ensure that farmers have improved yields, or we address the issue of low productivity per hectare. So that's the reason we went e-voucher, so that we improve on the part of targeting, and so that the right people receive the inputs. And also we weed out ghost farmers, because previously you find that maybe one person would collude or try to manipulate the system, so that one person, they get NRCs from different people and one person receives all this. So to eliminate all that corruption, we went into the e-voucher, so that the right people receive the right support from the government.
Great, great. One would like to know, we are talking about the e-voucher, which the ministry has recently introduced as a mode of distributing farm input to the beneficiaries. How is this going to be done successfully, especially in rural communities?
It has already been done successfully. If you checked our figures and our data from the communities, as early as September, farmers from as far as Miombe in Mafinga were receiving inputs, or they were redeeming inputs. And what that does, look, Miombe had no connectivity some time back, but because the government is working as a one government approach, so the Ministry of Technology and Science put up towers in those areas, and they have connectivity, they have access to internet, they have access to what you are benefiting here in the city. And so all the farmers, even in rural areas, they are able to access the inputs using their phones in those rural areas. So there is no rural area that is left behind. All the areas are on board. And the issue of connectivity is not an issue anymore, because government has improved the connectivity on the other side.
Coming to the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility as one of the program the ministry is implementing, how does it differ from FISP, and who qualify to benefit from this?
So in terms of the SAF, so FISP is really meant for the vulnerable farmers, but viable. But SAF is meant for you and I that might be in active employment. So it means for every Zambian. As long as you're a Zambian, you are qualified to go and get that loan. You might be in active employment, whether in the private sector or in the public sector. You should be able to get that loan. So it's not restrictive as compared to the to the FISP. The FISP is restricted in terms of the numbers that receive, and but for SAF, it's not restricted. Every single Zambian should be able to do that.
Yeah, what's the procedure for one to get SAF?
So the procedure is very simple. You go to the your district agriculture officer. They will be able to advise on how you go about it, because the role of the ministry is to just ensure that we verify that you are a farmer. Then you go to the bank, and then they are going to do their own due diligence. And then when they finish doing their due diligence, then they can award you that loan. So the role of the ministry is to just facilitate. Mm-hmm. So when you facilitate, you go to the bank, you get whether it's your form, and we verify that you are a farmer. You can go to any nearest bank, mostly Zanaco, NatSave, Access, and different other banks that are participating in the program. Then you'll be able to get your loan.
Great. So the department responsible for giving loans is just there at the headquarters of the Ministry of Agriculture, or it's stationed somewhere for the sake of the viewers who are watching?
So in terms of the loans, Ministry of Agriculture, remember that it's not the one in charge of finances in the country. And so this program is being facilitated by the government. And because it's being facilitated by the government, there are banks that are participating on the program. So the ministry, the role they play is government negotiated with the private sector to ensure that the loan that you get, or the agricultural loan that you get from the government or the bank, is the interest rate is reduced, so that you get cheaper financing for your agriculture. And as we verify and say, Sonda, you are eligible because you are a farmer, then you go to the bank will do their own due diligence on you. And when they are certified that either you are renting land or you have the land and you are going to produce, then they give you that loan. And they'll still be monitoring from time to time, but you must pay back. Okay. So for SAF, you must pay back. Mm-hmm. FISP, it's a subsidy that government has given you, but you must produce. Then for SAF, you must produce and you must pay back that loan. So because generally amongst the Zambians, the paying back is very low. You know, we haven't really been cultured to pay back, and we think everything that we get, when we get a loan, it's like it's our money, so we can't pay back. So you must pay back, because if you don't pay back, then the bank will come and grab what you have so that you learn to pay back, because they need that money to be given to another person. So if they give 10,000 this year, then it means that when you benefit and you grow, we want another person also to benefit, because it's not just meant for a few individuals. So it meant for everyone. So it should be a revolving fund. We get loans, then we grow the fund, and then other people also can benefit. So we facilitate. You go to the bank will be able to help.
Okay, great. Mr. Balewa, what are the key indicators you can talk about the e-voucher that that it has on the beneficiaries as compared to the key indicators of the traditional mode of distributing farming inputs?
So when you look at the traditional one, you require a lot of man as government to ensure that you deliver. But for the e-voucher, for the first time in history, we were able to start delivering, or farmers were able to redeem as early as September. In the past, that was not the case, because we had to physically go there. But with a centralized system where you just, at a click of a button, you send the codes to all the farmers, then now the power has shifted from the government to the farmers. One, they choose whatever they want. Two, they choose whenever they want. But we always encourage them to do it much more earlier, so that whatever they redeem, then they are able to input into their production while they still receive rain, provided they are not doing it under irrigation. The e-voucher has created more jobs for the young people, because now even for the private sector, the agro dealers that are working into this value chain, then they are able to create employment in the rural areas. Then the farmers also, the distance has reduced from you know, traveling long distances for you to go and collect your fertilizer or your seed or any other input. Now you have to go to the nearest shop in your locality, then you're able to redeem and get your inputs. So it has created one, employment. It has generated incomes for the private sector. It has also helped to reduce the number, the long distances, and it has also helped the farmers to redeem the kind of crops that they want. Because previously you just receive maybe it's 3 bags, 4 bags of fertilizer, but now you just redeem what you want, because you might not need fertilizer, you just want seed. So you go and redeem the seed that you want. So I think the e-voucher is here to stay, and it has done massively well, evidenced by what we have achieved this year. I think the e-voucher has better advantages.
Great.
And it has also eliminated corruption in the processes.
Very interesting, Manuel.
Very much interesting. Mr. Balewa, even as we come to the end of the program, your closing remarks.
I just want to thank the farmers again and urge them to continue engaging our officers, and also to move or shift from this mindset of always depending on the rains. Take advantage of the programs that the Minister of Agriculture or the government at large has put in place. Support the president by growing something, because the markets are always there for your food. And we also encourage the farmers to also diversify, even in terms of the crops that they produce, because we have created market linkages in areas or countries such as China and the Europe, where you're able to export macadamia nuts, blueberries, and different kinds of crop. We want the farmers to also meet the national food security.
Great. Mr. Balewa, thank you so much for making an appearance on Inside Agriculture.
Thank you very much.
Great. There you have it, dear viewers. This is where we've come to the end of Inside Agriculture. Today we were discussing who qualify to benefit from Farmer Input Support Program. And in the studio we had Mr. Balewa Zuru, who is a Principal Public Relations Officer from the Ministry of Agriculture. Until next time, it's goodbye, and continue enjoying the rest of our programming. This has been Emmanuel Mwemba and my co-presenter, Claribel Musonda. Inside Agriculture is the program that keeps you informed and empowered on everything trending in the world of agriculture. This program interprets government agricultural policies, showcasing resilient farming practices, cutting-edge technologies, and the inspiring individuals driving innovation. Are you a farmer, agriculture entrepreneur, or simply passionate about food security and national development? This is your platform to stay ahead and get involved. Don't miss out. It is your time to be part of Zambia's agricultural transformation and contribute to economic growth and food security. Join us every Sunday at 14:30 hours only on Zanis TV, the People's Channel.